right. Good afternoon, Friendship Village Tempe residents. This is Cole Marvin, Executive Director of Friendship Village, reporting live from the Skirm Auditorium. As we promised, we will be holding our village meetings on an every Thursday basis, and we will continue to do so until we believe it's no longer necessary. The village meeting, it'll occur at 1 p.m. as it is right now, and it is being recorded, and it will be replayed on Friday morning at 10 a.m., as well as being posted to our resident apps once we have it uploaded to the system. So many different ways to see the village meeting and get this information. I do believe we will also be summarizing what we've covered in the Villager or the Informant as well. So that will be forthcoming, trying to make sure everyone has access to as much information as they can possibly get, and using all the various media streams that we have available to share. So, second, I want to start off by saying thank you. I continue to receive an unbelievable amount of cards, emails, voicemails, just face-to-face contact, encouragement, support. And I continue to share those with our team, who shares it with everybody that works here. And again, I believe that that is fuel that is helping these employees come to work every single day and really work hard to help keep us as safe as we can, as well as providing us with everything that we need while we are hunkered down here at Friendship Village. So thank you all so much for that positive feedback. Much appreciated. I'm going to work my way through what I'll consider things that are being brought to me by large amounts of people. And that's kind of what I'm using to create this village meeting material with. And one of the first ones is beauty and barber services. I would say just behind housekeeping, beauty and barber services are the services that people are really missing the most. People are reaching out to me, making sure that I understand that beauty and barber services really should be considered as an essential service. It's not a luxury item. And I've been replying back to the people who have reached out to me, letting them know that I am in agreement with them. I do understand where they're coming from. I respect for where they're coming from, and we are going to do everything we can to get beauty and barber services back up and running as soon as we possibly can. When will that be? I honestly cannot tell you, but I think it's important for you to know I hear you. I respect where you're coming from, and I do understand what you're saying. We are on the same page. I continue to have to follow protocols that are being passed down to me from our corporate office. Those are mandates. They are no longer suggestions. So a lot of what I have and am able to do is really governed and controlled by our corporate office, which again, they're doing what they think we need to be doing to keep people as safe as possible, especially the population we serve. I've made them aware of how strong the concern is. We have 3 times a week, we have phone calls as a whole company, and they ask for us to funnel that information to them. I have funneled this concern to them, much like I did the housekeeping. They are aware, and they have confirmed that we are not alone. That is a service that a lot of folks are really pushing hard to figure out a way to get back up and running. It's always good not to be the lone soldier there, and know that we are in this with a lot of other people. They have elevated that issue to the top of LCS, and it will be addressed, and communication will be forthcoming. And once I receive that information, I will let you know. Basically ask them to figure out a way that through use of personal protective equipment and various other sanitizing activities, somehow, some way we'd be able to get this up and running. Again, I cannot promise anything right now, but I do want you to know I'm working on it. Second biggest concern that has come my way has to do with masks. Residents wearing face masks, some residents not wearing face masks, residents being concerned about those who are not doing it, and reaching out to me to make sure that we are enforcing that. And I'm going to share with you as follows. We continue to look to the CDC for guidelines, and the CDC guidelines specifically state, CDC recommends wearing cloth face masks or coverings in public settings where other social distancing measures are difficult to maintain. For example, grocery stores and pharmacies. If you're in a grocery store or a pharmacy, you absolutely 100% should be wearing a face mask of some sort. We have taken the article that we was able to get from the CDC, and we have made it available at the front desk in print format. We have also published it to our COVID-19 button on resident apps, and the document is called CDC Use of Face Masks, if anyone would like to take a look at that and read up on what the CDC is suggesting in the way of face masks. Some residents would like to see us require all of the residents to wear face masks anytime they leave their home. I am aware of this concern. My response is we're going to handle this much like we are handling residents leaving our campus, which is an ongoing concern that continues to make its way to me as well. And that is, we are strongly discouraging residents from leaving the village unless absolutely necessary. That continues to be how we are approaching that. We are not stopping and forcing people to turn around. That is not where we're at, and that is not how we're managing it. But we do continue to make sure that people know how strongly we are discouraging their leaving unless it's absolutely necessary. I think that the same thing applies to the wearing of cloth face coverings. We are going to continue to strongly suggest that residents wear them at all times. Anytime you're out of your home, we suggest you wear them. We're not requiring it. That is entirely up to you. If you are comfortable with your whatever activity it is you're engaged in, if you're able to adequately social distance during that time, that decision is yours and that will remain yours. And so you can make that decision how you see fit. I know people are concerned about that, but going as far as forcing people to wear them, that is just a line that we do not cross and are not going to cross right now at this time unless Arizona comes out and says that's what needs to happen. If that becomes the case, then we'll do it. But until then, we are strongly encouraging and strongly suggesting you not leave the campus and you do wear a cloth face mask when you are out and about, unless you are comfortable with your ability to social distance 6 feet. Now some people are saying 10 feet. I think 10 feet certainly farther than 6, so sounds a little safer. And that's really what this whole thing is about, is encouraging and promoting safety. So please continue to be aware of that, and we will continue to update you as things evolve. We have placed a large order of cloth face masks that we will look to have available to residents who are not able to obtain one for themselves. Once we have that shipment received, we will put a 1960 slide up, and probably we would also put something in the Villager, and I would include it in my weekly village meeting, making residents aware that we have the cloth masks available at the front desk for them to pick up should they need one. Gatehouse protocol. A lot of feedback on gatehouse protocol. When we first decided that we are going to start temping, taking the temperature of residents who have left the campus and are coming back onto the campus, we initially decided to have that operated out of the front desk under what we called an honor system, basically asking approved guests and residents returning to go to the front desk so that they could follow the question or answer the questions that we have, as well as take their temperature. We found that a lot of folks were choosing not to do that, whether it be for inconvenience or just lack of general concern in terms of whether or not it was necessary. And we did have a lot of feedback from residents expressing concern over our system. We took a look at it, and we have now decided as of the 22nd of April, yesterday, we are now asking those questions and taking the temperatures at the front gate. So that means 100% of the people who are coming through the gate are now being stopped, answering the questions, filling out the form, and getting their temperature taken. And again, I think, I know a couple people have not appreciated this approach, but the vast majority have. And again, what we're doing is in the spirit of safety and trying to keep folks as safe as possible. We're well into this and still do not have any confirmed positive COVID-19 cases here at the village, and our preference is to keep it that way. So we will be doing all of the temp taking and question asking at the front gate until otherwise notified. We also received some concerns that some of the staff at the front gate were not wearing the proper PPE, for example, face masks, and we have clarified that for those employees today, making it crystal clear that our expectation is that any employees engaging residents in something less than 6 feet are required to wear the proper PPE. So that has been clarified, and again, we appreciate your feedback. I think we're doing a nice job of getting the feedback and responding appropriately, and we will continue to do that. I had a lot of folks express concern about the residents that are leaving the campus routinely to go get fast food, to go out for coffee, to do things like that. Again, we are discouraging that. We're doing everything we can to offer you everything we think you would possibly need during this time that we ask you to shelter in place. However, again, we're not forcing people to not leave the campus. One thing that I have shared with people who have specifically reached out to me, specific to fast food, I think is helped alleviate some of their fears. And again, no way am I suggesting people do this, but I do believe it's important for people to understand how they are handling drive-throughs and food in particular. Almost all of them have made it truly a contactless exchange, whereby you pull up, you of course place your order through your window, you drive through to the drive-through where you are able to slide your card into a card reader that is able to charge you for whatever it is you purchased. They then place your bag of food on a tray. They hold the tray out. You take the bag of food off of the tray, and it's in your car. So effectively, it was a contactless exchange, which is really what people were looking to do to be as safe as possible. And I just want to make you aware of it, that is how it's done. And again, I want to make sure you understand, I'm not encouraging people to leave the village or saying it's great to do so or safe. I just think it's important to have facts, especially when you're concerned. I had mentioned a project that we are taking on specific to TCAA, the Tempe Community Action Agency. I had told you that I had several residents approach me about wanting to help employees, wanting to give money to employees, wanting to take their stimulus check and donate it to a fund that would support employees. I met with folks from the Employee Appreciation Fund. We explored the idea, and we determined that it was probably best to identify a local agency who is already engaged in doing that type of practice, has protocols set up as to how folks qualify, and that's how we got connected with TCAA, Tempe Community Action Agency. They're a great organization. We work closely with them and enjoy a strong relationship. They quickly responded positively and are willing to be the recipient of funds that residents would like to donate to. They have updated their website to allow for residents to specifically select Friendship Village Tempe in their donation so that all of those dollars are put aside separately, are not commingled, and we'll be able to know exactly how many dollars came in, which is important because I have had people ask, are you laying off employees? And the answer is no. We are not laying off any employees. In fact, we are hiring right now at this time. We've been able to fill a number of vacancies that were very challenging for us to fill. So we've really taken that opportunity to do so. The reality of it is what has happened is a lot of our employees live with extended family as well as their spouse and their children. And while they're not losing their jobs here at Friendship Village Tempe, say their spouse has lost their job, or a mother-in-law and father-in-law who live in the home, whose income contributes to the bottom line of the family, and that person has lost their job, making it difficult for them. So that is what those funds are for. That is how folks would qualify as being able to demonstrate a loss of income secondary to the pandemic that we're experiencing. And again, we're working with TCAA to do so, and we'll be using their protocol to qualify employees. We are going to allow for this to happen for people to donate over the next 2 weeks before we decide to look at the money and figure out how much we have, and that will drive how much we are able to provide to an employee in need on a one-time basis. So we just need to see how much money comes in first, and then we'll know what we can do and what we can't. I have had people ask how to do so. Again, it's TCAA, their website, and it would be under, I think, Donate Now. But we have also added under our COVID-19 button a heading, and it's called A Way to Give Back. When you go into the COVID-19 button on resident apps, you'll see a title that says A Way to Give Back. If you go into that and you select Make a Donation, it'll take you directly to TCAA's website. You select Make a Donation, and it sends you to their website. When you get there, you need to scroll down, and you will see a drop-down box for Designation. If you click on Designation, and it will currently read Areas of Greatest Need. Once you click on that drop-down box, you will see Friendship Village Tempe's name, and then again, you will need to select that to ensure that whatever you donate goes directly to Friendship Village Tempe. So I think that is clarification on that. I've also put a Villager article that will come out, I think, today or tomorrow, which will provide you with more written information on that as well. I want to send a shout out to Dining Services. They continue to do an unbelievable job on taking the feedback that we're getting on a regular basis and modifying our menus and our food and our selections, and in particular, what we carry in the pantry. Again, we want to create as much as possible a grocery store that meets your needs, that would prevent you from having to go out. Jess is doing an unbelievable job of managing those requests and doing everything she can to cover things that are being asked. Some new items that are being brought in based upon request are diced green chilies, baby oil, latex gloves, tartar sauce, toilet bowl cleanser, half gallons of orange juice, dental floss, dried prunes, roasted almonds, and shampoo. So we continue to work hard to meet your needs and take the requests that you're providing us and updating those as far as inventory in our pantry. All right, I am now to the frequently asked questions portion of our meeting, and that will be the end. And that is, we will be, hold on. Two new questions that I've kind of talked about already, but we'll address again. So the question is Friendship Village handing out masks to residents? The answer is masks and other PPE are still very difficult to source, but we have been able to piece together a stockpile that has made us comfortable with our various suppliers. In addition, we, as of yesterday, placed a large order for cloth masks with the intention of making them available to our residents when they arrive. Again, as soon as they arrive, we will put something out, making people aware so that you can come and get your one reusable, washable cloth mask. Second question is, why are residents allowed to leave campus? I think I've talked about this, but again, I'm going to provide the official answer that you will find when you go to the COVID-19 button and look at frequently asked questions. We also print these out and keep them at the front desk for people who do not have the ability to access resident apps. So the question again, why are residents allowed to leave campus? The answer is we are currently following Governor Ducey's stay-at-home order, which strongly discourages leaving the home for anything non-essential. We have implemented screening procedures for residents coming back on campus, which include having their temperature taken and being asked a series of questions related to symptoms and where they have been off campus. This is to detect a fever or other symptoms as early as possible and to have a record of where people have been. When confronted with a positive case of COVID-19, a question often asked is, where all has this person been? We're hoping the log could prove helpful in such a situation should it happen. These checks will now be conducted at or near the front gate in lieu of the front desk to enhance compliance. So those are the two frequently asked questions that we have added to our frequently asked questions list. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. It is 1:20, and we are going to begin passing out the ice cream cones in the Courtyard Apartments. And so, you will see this lovely hat. We will be moving through the courtyard apartments from 1 to 3 p.m., and we wanted to get this out before that so that you didn't have to compete or pick a choice as to what you wanted to do, ice cream or village meeting. So you'll see me and a group of people in about 5 minutes out in the courtyard apartments and Main Street apartments passing out ice cream novelties. And tomorrow we will be driving an ice cream tram around the cottage area from 1 to 3, passing out ice cream to residents that live in the cottages. So look forward to seeing you. Hang in there. We appreciate you doing everything you can do to keep yourself and everyone else as safe as possible. We appreciate your understanding, and we look forward to this going away as much as you do. You can trust me on that. So until then, hang in there, and thanks for everything you do. Take care.